They say the night shift is the easiest. You sit in a chair, watch a few screens, and maybe do a round or two. It's quiet. But sometimes it's too quiet. And when you're the only person in a massive building, your mind starts to play tricks on you. Or at least it's your mind. Because the alternative, that someone is in there with you, watching you from the darkness, is far worse. Here are 3 terrifying true horror stories from security guards who realized they weren't as alone as they thought. I've been in the security game for about 6 years now. When you put in that kind of time, you get seniority. You get the best schedules, the best holidays, and usually the easiest sites. Recently, my company landed a contract for a government facility. I can't give you the exact location, but picture a massive 6-story concrete block sitting in the middle of absolutely nowhere. It's surrounded by a 10-foot fence topped with razor wire, and beyond that, nothing but dense, deep woods for miles. Because we were short-staffed, I agreed to pick up an overtime shift on a Saturday night. It was just me, 1 guard, 6 floors, and a storm raging outside that was shaking the windows. Around 2 a.m., I was in the control room on the top floor. I had the lights off, just the glow of the CCTV monitors keeping me company. I got up to stretch my legs and glanced out the window through the blinds. The rain was coming down in sheets. I was about to turn away when a massive flash of lightning lit up the perimeter, and for a split second, I froze. About 20 feet beyond the fence line, I saw a figure. It darted from one tree to another, fast, unnaturally fast. I rubbed my eyes, waiting for the next flash, thinking maybe it was a deer or just the shadows playing tricks on me. The next flash came. Nothing. The trees were empty. I convinced myself I was just tired. I walked down the hall to the vending machine to grab an energy drink, trying to shake the feeling. But when I got back to the control room, my stomach dropped. One of the camera feeds, the exact one pointing at the back fence where I'd seen the figure, was dead. Black screen. I rushed to the window. The camera wasn't just malfunctioning, it was dangling by its wires, swinging violently in the wind. Someone had ripped it down. Before I could even process that, a sharp beep echoed through the room. I looked at the access panel. Rear door. Access granted. My blood ran cold. That door requires a key code, a specific rotating government key code. Whoever was out there didn't just break in, they logged in. I grabbed the landline to call 911. Dead silence. I checked my cell phone. No service. And then, the power died. The hum of the building stopped, replaced by the sound of the rain pounding against the roof. I knew I had to get out. I grabbed my flashlight and headed for the emergency stairwell, planning to sprint down to the lobby and make a run for my truck. I moved as quietly as I could. I made it down to the 4th floor when I heard it. The heavy metal door at the bottom of the stairwell creaked open. Someone was coming up. I froze. I was armed, trained, but the reality of standing in a pitch-black stairwell with a stranger who knew the access codes, terror took over. The footsteps were heavy, deliberate. They were coming for me. I made a split-second decision. I turned around and scrambled back up toward the roof access, but in my panic, my gun holstered on my hip slammed against the metal railing. Clang. The footsteps below stopped instantly. Then, they started running. I sprinted up the stairs, my heart hammering against my ribs. I reached the top landing. There was a ladder leading to a roof hatch and a door back into the 6th floor hallway. I grabbed the hallway door handle, slammed it open, and then let it bang shut, trying to make it sound like I had run into the hallway. Then, I scrambled up the ladder into the crawl space just below the roof hatch and held my breath. Seconds later, the intruder burst onto the landing. Through the grate, I saw a shadow in all black stop. He looked at the hallway door I had just slammed. He bought the bait. He ripped the door open and ran into the hallway. I didn't wait. I dropped from the ladder, hit the ground, and practically flew down 6 flights of stairs. I heard him scream in frustration from the floor above, followed by the sound of him stumbling. I burst out the front door, sprinted to my truck, and didn't look back until I was doing 80 on the main road. When the police swept the building, they found nothing, except one thing in the stairwell: a fully loaded, unregistered semi-automatic handgun. The intruder had dropped it when he tripped. To this day, I don't know who he was or how he had the codes, but I know one thing: he wasn't there to steal. He was hunting. I used to work overnights at a corporate office in New Jersey. It was a boring job, mostly just fighting off sleep. One night, around midnight, I was scanning the monitors when I saw him. On the lower level of the parking garage, a secure area that should have been completely empty, a man was walking between the rows of parked cars. He was wearing a long, oversized trench coat that looked like it was from another decade. He wasn't breaking into cars, he was just walking, weaving in and out of the pillars, looking around. I grabbed my flashlight and went down to investigate. The elevator ride felt like it took an hour. When the doors opened, the garage was silent. "Security? Make yourself known," I shouted. My voice just echoed back at me. I swept the area. Nothing. No man, no coat. I figured the camera was glitching, or maybe I was just seeing things. I went back up to the lobby desk. I sat down, looked at the monitor, and my heart stopped. He was there, standing in the exact same spot I had just walked through. He was staring directly up at the camera lens. I watched him for 20 minutes. He moved like a ghost, drifting toward the stairwell door. Then he vanished from the screen. I waited for the stairwell door alarm to trip. It never did. Suddenly, the elevator in the lobby dinged. I spun around in my chair. The doors slid open. Empty. But on the polished tile floor of the elevator, there were footprints. Wet, dark footprints leading out into the lobby. And they were barefoot. He was inside. I drew my flashlight and started clearing the lobby floor, my hands shaking. I turned down a long hallway of offices. Halfway down, I saw a door slightly ajar. I pushed it open. Empty. Then, from behind me, I heard it. Slap. 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 Wet, bare feet hitting the tile. Fast. I spun around with my light. At the far end of the hall, just at the edge of the beam, I saw the coat. He was power walking toward me, not running, but moving with this terrifying, aggressive purpose. I didn't play hero. I bolted. I hit the stairwell and locked myself in the lobby until the police arrived. They never found him. The footage was corrupted, but I quit the next day. Sometimes, when I'm in a parking garage alone, I can still hear those wet, bare feet slapping against the concrete behind me. This happened just a few days ago in Mississauga, Ontario. It was my very first night training as a mobile security guard. My supervisor, let's call him Mike, was showing me the ropes. We pulled up to a medical clinic around 1:15 a.m. for a routine patrol. Usually, if something is wrong, dispatch tells us, but this time it was dead silent. As we walked up to the glass entrance, we stopped. The front doors weren't just unlocked, they were shattered. The glass was spiderwebbed and the lock was busted. "What the hell?" Mike whispered. "The alarm should be screaming right now." We stepped inside, glass crunching under our boots. The lobby was dark, but the elevator panel was lit up. We watched the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. The elevator stopped on the top floor. Mike pulled out his baton. I could see his hand shaking. "Stay close," he told me. "We have to clear it." We called the elevator back down. The wait was agonizing. When the doors opened, it was empty. We got in and hit 4. As we rose, I kept imagining the doors opening and someone rushing us. But when we reached the 4th floor, the hallway was empty. We started checking rooms, clearing the floor. That's when we heard it. Footsteps below us, in the stairwell. Mike grabbed his radio. "Dispatch, we need backup now. Suspect is in the building. He's below us." Dispatch told us to hold our position. We were trapped. The suspect was between us and the exit. If we took the stairs, we'd run right into him. If we took the elevator, he'd hear it coming. For 15 minutes, we stood in that dark hallway, listening to the silence. Finally, backup arrived, our senior supervisor. He came in through the front door and radioed that the lobby was clear. We met him downstairs and did a full sweep. We checked every room, every closet, every bathroom. Nothing. Just as we were finishing the sweep on the 3rd floor, we heard the front doors smash open again. We ran to the window, just in time to see a figure sprinting into the darkness. We never caught him. But the scariest part? When we checked the 4th floor where we had been hiding, we found a closet door open that we swore we had checked. He hadn't been below us. He had been on the 4th floor with us the entire time. Have you ever worked a night shift and felt eyes on you? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see tomorrow, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Stay safe and trust your gut.